All right, welcome back, class. Today we're going to talk about converting fractions to decimals, decimals to percents, percents to fractions, and all of the above, okay? So your notes that we gave you in class should look a little bit like this, actually a lot like this. It should look exactly like this. And I'm going to show you how to fold it and cut it so that you will be ready in class tomorrow. So first thing is you're going to flip it over to the back. And you see this middle line? So this is the top. Not the first, but the second line. You can, well, you're folding this line to meet the center. Okay? Just like that. And you're going to do the same with the bottom. Fold the bottom up so that it meets the center line. Okay? And you may have to fold it over a little bit more so that these words are not cut off. Okay. Just like that. Okay, and we're going to start, flip it over, with fraction to decimal. Okay? Fraction to decimal, we use what's called Tybo. And you're probably wondering what Tybo is, and we will talk about it. Tybo is just a type of division that we are going to use. Okay? Tybo is division. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, and when, oh, I forgot to cut it out. Okay? So when you have your flaps folded over, nice and neat. Let's see here. Here we go. You're going to cut in between each section. So you're going to cut here, and there's actually lines right there on the inside. And you're going to cut right here and do the same on the top. Okay? There we go. So now you have 3 flaps on the top, 1, 2, and 3, and you have 3 on the bottom. So to convert a fraction to a decimal, we use Tybo, and open your flap, and in the top section, not the middle, we're going to do an example. Okay? Our first example is going to be changing 1/2 to a decimal. Okay? So we have a fraction, and we're going to turn it into a decimal by using Tybo. Tybo is top in, bottom out. So the top goes in, and the bottom goes out. Okay? And because 2 does not go into 1, we know that we're going to have to add a decimal and a 0. And make sure you bring your decimal right up, straight up. Okay? 2 into 1 does not go in there, so we'll put 0. 2 goes how many times into 10? 5 minus 10 is 0. When you end up with a 0, you know you're done. Okay? So what is our answer? 1/2 equals 5/10. Okay? There you go. What I want you to do for your notes is tomorrow when you come to class, you're going to have a summary written down telling us in your own words what the process was, how we turned a fraction into a decimal, okay, in your own words. Now the opposite, here we learned how to turn a fraction into a decimal. Now we're going to go backwards and we're going to turn a decimal into a fraction. Okay? So the steps are that you write it how you read it. Write it how you read it. And the last step is to simplify. Okay? Simplify just means to reduce or to make smaller. Okay? So open up your flap, and on the bottom, not in the middle, on the bottom we are going to do our example. Okay? Our example is 0.9. Okay? Actually, yeah, that's fine. 0.9. Okay? Now, how do we read this? The instructions say, write it how you read it. Well, 0.9, that doesn't make any sense. Well, you should know that in math class, we read like mathematicians, and this number, this digit, has a place value. What place value is the 9 in? Think about it. If you thought 9/10, you are correct. So this is read as 9/10, and if we write it like we read it, 9/10. That will be your answer. Now, wait a minute. We have to simplify also, okay? What are the greatest common factors of 9 and 10? Greatest common factor. You did learn about that today in class, or at least yesterday, maybe. Greatest common factor, let's see. They're the two numbers that multiply together to get the product. 9 is 1, 3, 9. 10 is just 1, 2, 5, and 10. They don't have any in common, so this must be simplified. Okay. For homework, we would like for you to try these on your own and write them as a fraction. Okay, you need to make each of those a fraction, and don't forget to simplify. Now these notes are going to stop right here, but in order to write down the next part of the notes, you need to watch the next video.